Please rise. The Court of the Second Judicial Circuit of the State of New York Criminal Division is now in session. The Honorable Cadence Fesh presiding.
Everyone but the jury may be seated. Mr. Drummond, please swear in the jury.
Members of the jury, the defendant, Daisy Buchanan, is presumed to be innocent of the charge of involuntary manslaughter. This presumption is not overcome unless you are convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty. The defendant is not required to prove her innocence. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will truly listen to this case and render a true verdict and a fair sentence as to this defendant?
I do.
You may be seated.
Mr. Drummond, what is today's case?
Your Honor, today's case is the State of New York versus Daisy Buchanan.
Is the prosecution ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
The prosecution may now give its opening statement.
Members of the jury, today we hear a story about a death that did not have to happen. Death was a result of one's negligence and neglect of their own actions in certain times of grief. A woman, Myrtle Wilson, was struck and killed by a speeding vehicle in a dead of night. The prosecution will show that Daisy Buchanan recklessly drove Mr. Jay Gatsby's vehicle at the time of this event, thus killing Mrs. Myrtle. Witness testimony from Vic Carraway proves that she was the one driving the car, and that she willingly chose to drive the car. You will hear that after striking Myrtle, Daisy continued to go on. She didn't stop. She didn't go out for help. She continued to speed up, and she continued to leave the scene. This case details choices made by an emotionally distraught woman whose actions caused the loss of a life, in which we hope to find her guilty.
The defense for Daisy Buchanan may now give its opening statement.
Members of the jury, involuntary manslaughter is defined as unintentionally causing the death of another person by way of reckless actions, negligence, or criminal activity. As the defense, we know this is a tragedy, but we also know this tragedy was not a result of recklessness, negligence, or criminal activity. Today, the prosecution must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that our defendant, Daisy Buchanan, is guilty of negligence, recklessness, or criminal activity. We are here to show you today that Daisy did not partake in any of this behavior. Instead, this was a horrific tragedy that occurred. During this trial, you will hear the prosecution attempt to paint a picture of Daisy as reckless, who endangered citizens. But let us paint the true picture of Daisy. A woman driving in the Valley of Ashes, a late-at-night place with no streetlights, when another woman runs out into the road. The woman running out to the road is the reckless action, not the woman driving the car responsibly. The defense will make sure to clearly outline each item that highlights Daisy's actions being responsible and not reckless. Thank you.
Prosecution, you may call your first witness.
Your Honor, we call Vic Carraway to the stand.
Will the witness please stand to be sworn in by the bailiff?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Mr. Carraway. could you give me a brief overview of your day, starting from the time that you woke up to the time of the crime scene, the day of the crime?
So we went to Tom and Daisy's house for lunch, and it was a hot day, and we were all gathered in the living room, and Tom poured us some drinks, and we all had a drink, and we were just talking, and then we had lunch, and we had more drinks with lunch, and Daisy and Gatsby were talking, and Tom became suspicious of something going on between them, and then Daisy suggested that we go to town, and then, so me, Jordan, and Tom all drove in Gatsby's car to New York, and Daisy and Gatsby drove to New York in Tom's car, and then we went to a hotel, and Tom and Gatsby got in a fight over Daisy, and there was lots of yelling and screaming, and Daisy was distraught and emotional, and so was Tom and Gatsby.
Were you aware at all of any prior emotions between Gatsby and Daisy, like of an affair type of situation?
Yeah, they had been seeing each other for probably a week or two.
Okay.
After they had first met at my house.
Could you describe to me the fight that occurred between the two? How were emotions with Daisy Buchanan, would you say?
Tom asked Gatsby if he was trying to cause a row in his house, and then Daisy was like saying she didn't love Tom, or Gatsby was trying to get Daisy to say she didn't love Tom, because Gatsby wanted Daisy to run away with him, and Daisy was saying how she did love Tom and Gatsby, and then both Gatsby and Tom were screaming at each other, and Daisy was crying.
So you would say that Daisy Buchanan was emotionally distraught after this event?
Yes.
So when you all left for this, when they left for the city, who was in the car, the vehicle?
Daisy and Gatsby went in Gatsby's car, and they left probably 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes before us. And me, Jordan, and Tom were in Tom's car.
Okay. And who would you say was the driver of Gatsby's car? Well,
After everyone got home, after Myrtle died, or Myrtle got hit, Gatsby informed me that Daisy was the driver of the car.
okay. What are the questions, Rob?
Defense, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Caraway. I just have a few questions for you. So, were you there with Daisy when she was driving the car?
No.
So, do you actually know if the emotional distress even impacted the crash at all?
No, but when she was leaving, she was very distressed.
But wasn't that 20 minutes after? Didn't you leave 20 minutes after Daisy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Prosecution, your next witness.
Your Honor, call Tom Buchanan to the stand.
Mr. Norton, will you please swear in the witness?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Buchanan? So, as you are Daisy Buchanan's husband, how can you describe for this courtroom, what are her emotions usually? How would you describe her husband?
Calm, can get shot at times, but calm normally.
How would you say that she usually gets over with these emotions? Is it over a period of time? Is it a snap just like that? Or does it take time to resolve?
I'd say time.
Time to resolve? Okay. So as you were in the Plaza Hotel with the other members in there, can you describe the emotional atmosphere?
It was tense. It was a lot of aggression, tense, and there was high temperatures going.
we've heard from Mr. Nick Caraway that she was visibly upset after this altercation. Would you agree at the same time that this is one of her outbursts, or was this something different that you did not see?
Something different.
Something different. Pardon me, who is in your vehicle when you were driving?
Which direction?
Pardon?
Which direction?
Who is driving? Who is in your vehicle? We know that Mr. J. Gatsby and Daisy were in her vehicle. Who is in yours?
Me, Nick, and Jordan.
And when were you informed that Mrs. Myrtle was deceased?
When we came upon the scene, coming back from New York.
Okay, further questions are up.
The witness may step down. No, never mind. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Good morning, Mr. Buchanan. As her husband, do you know the one thing that calms Daisy down, as she mentioned?
I don't really know.
Were you in the car with her while she was driving?
No.
So you don't know whether she calmed her nerves down while driving?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. That's all, Your Honor.
You may step down. Please remember you're still under oath. Prosecution, next witness.
Your Honor, I call to the stand Mike Ellis.
Mr. Drummond, please swear as a witness.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Mr. Mike Ellis, where were you when the incident happened?
I was tending my shop. Just sitting out in front of my shop.
Okay. What time did the incident happen?
It was quite later in the day. Maybe like 7 p.m.
Okay. What were the conditions outside?
It was a relatively clear day, but it was very dark outside. You couldn't see much.
So it was dark?
It was very dark, yes.
Could you describe the incident from when you first saw Mrs. Wilson leaving the garage to when you couldn't see the defendant's car anymore?
Yeah, so I was standing in front of my shop, and then I looked to my right, and then that's where Wilson's garage is. And she was having an argument with Mr. Wilson. Something about beating her or whatever. Anyway, so she ran out from the garage into the road right after the fact. And then you see a headlight coming down the road where she was standing. She was waving her arms trying to get the car to stop, it looked like. And then she was ran over, and then the car just kept on going without slowing down.
What speed was the defendant's car going before the collision?
Objection, Your Honor. Opinion.
I'd like to hear from the counsel.
They're going around. Oh, never mind. I get it now.
Well, you could judge a car speed based on other cars around the road too.
Overruled.
They're going around 35, 40 miles per hour.
Okay, thank you. And did she try to move her car out of the way from hitting her?
Nope, she did not swerve or anything. She just kept going along the lines.
Okay. And she did not try to stop before the collision or after the collision?
Nope.
Okay. And then how fast was she going after the collision relative to before? Was she faster or was she going the same speed?
She was, from my perspective, she was going faster than 40 after that, and so she sped up as she was leaving.
She sped up to run away.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Charlie.
Defense, you may cross-examine the witness.
Good morning. Was there another car coming the other way
Yeah, there was.
as the accident occurred?
Did you see right away? Did you think that you saw a green car?
Yeah, the car that her looked light green in color.
So since it was dark outside, you didn't get a clear picture of
No.
the car. So it would most likely, if for the speed that you claim that you saw, obviously it would be very difficult to actually determine the speed of the car.
Well, with the car going the other direction and then the speed limit posted, I could guess it was going well above the speed limit, around 35 to 40.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Witness may step down. Please remember you're still under oath. Prosecution, your next witness.
Your Honor, the prosecution rests.
Defense of Daisy Buchanan, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call to the stand Tom Buchanan. Hello, Mr. Buchanan. Just some simple questions. Describe your relationship with Myrtle.
We were having an affair, and we were just kind of my side piece.
Okay. Okay. Did Daisy know that you had an affair?
No,
Okay. Did Daisy know Myrtle at all?
not to my knowledge.
Okay. So, did Daisy appear at any sorts before you left the Plaza Hotel as someone who shouldn't drive?
Yes,
How so?
like distraught, was kind of going everywhere emotionally.
Okay. So you said when prosecution that simply it takes her time to calm down.
Correct.
Do you know how long the drive is from where you at the Plaza Hotel to the gas station?
No,
Okay. Is it long? Is it short?
I don't know.
Okay. So. Okay. And you don't know what Daisy does to calm her nerves usually?
Correct.
Okay. Did Daisy appear? How are you feeling that night?
Off put,
Okay.
tempered,
Okay. Towards Gatsby and Daisy, or just Gatsby?
Gatsby.
Okay. So your recollection of that night is probably a little biased?
Some could say.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all.
Prosecution, you may now cross-examine the witness.
So just to clarify, Daisy, the defendant, was emotionally distressed as she was getting in the car to drive.
I didn't see who got in the car to drive.
But she was emotionally distressed when she was leaving the hotel.
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
The witness may step down. Defense, your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. We call to the stand Nick Carroll. Good morning, Mr. Carroll. Could you give us a summary of what happened that day, during the day?
We were at Tom and Daisy's for lunch, and we had lunch and drank a little bit, and it was hot, and then Tom became wary of Daisy and Gatsby's, or he thought there was something going on between them by the words they exchanged, and so then we went to New York, and we went to a Plaza Hotel, and there was a fight between Tom and Gatsby over Daisy, and it was very obnoxious and loud and emotional. And then when we left, Tom, me, and Jordan, or no, Gatsby and Daisy left like 15, 20 minutes before us in Gatsby's car. And then me, Tom, and Jordan left afterwards, and we came upon the death of Myrtle at Wilson's garage. Then we got back to Tom and Daisy's house and dropped them off, and I went home.
Just to clarify, there was no drinking at the Plaza Hotel, correct?
Not at the hotel. No.
Okay, sounds good. And during that day, probably the 3 hours before, how much alcohol did Daisy consume?
I'd say 2 or 3 drinks.
How were you feeling that night?
It was hot and very uncomfortable because of the argument. And
And you did not ride with Daisy in the car, correct? What was shared to you about the accident at the scene?
Gatsby stopped me after we dropped off dropped off Tom and Jordan, and he told me that Daisy was driving and there was another car coming, and he said that Daisy had attempted to swerve but didn't because the other car was oncoming, and so then she hit Myrtle.
So just to clarify, she attempted to swerve, but the other car was coming.
Yes.
Okay, so she got, okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution, you may cross-examine the witness.
No questions, Your Honor.
The witness may step down. Defense, your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call to the stand Daisy Buchanan.
The witness may take the stand. Mr. Drummond, will you please swear in the witness?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Hi, Daisy.
Hello.
So, let's just start off describing that night in detail.
The night or at the hotel?
Let's start at the hotel.
The afternoon was very hot, so me, Tom, Gatsby, Jordan, and Nick all went to the city together, hoping to escape the heat. At the Plaza Hotel, where everything went down, Gatsby wanted me to say something that I wasn't sure I could say, that I never loved Tom. I did care for Gatsby, really I did, but he wanted me to erase the past 5 years of my life, and I just couldn't do it. Tom and Gatsby argued intensely for a long while, and I believe Tom felt overconfident in that moment and didn't see Gatsby as a threat anymore, so to end the argument, he told Gatsby to drive me home.
Okay, thank you. Did any part of your time at the hotel when that fight was going on tell you that driving was a bad idea?
In my opinion, no, because driving helps calm my nerves.
Okay. So, we'll get back to that in a second. But was there a car coming at you when you hit Myrtle?
Yes,
Was the headlights in your face as you were driving?
they were pretty bright.
Okay. So was it hard to see the road?
Yes,
Okay. So you said that driving usually calms your nerves.
yes,
Is that why you decided to drive that night?
yes,
So when you were emotionally stressed at the hotel, it made you feel better to drive.
correct.
Thank you, Ron. That's all.
Prosecution may cross-examine the witness.
Mr. Buchanan, how are you feeling after the altercation in the hotel?
I was a little emotional due to the argument.
So when you were leaving the hotel, did you decide to drive even in emotional distress?
Yes, because driving helps calm my nerves.
Gatsby did not pressure you to drive, correct?
No.
So, at the time of the collision, were you aware that you hit someone?
Yeah,
Okay. And with that knowledge, did you make any attempt to stop and aid the person you hit?
Gatsby told me to just keep going.
And how fast were you traveling after the collision relative to before the collision?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. So you didn't know the speed that you were driving when you were driving the car.
No.
Okay. So you weren't sure at all when you were driving the car what speed you were driving.
No.
As a driver, you think you know the speed you're driving, correct?
The speed limit.
Okay. So you were speeding.
The speed limit.
You're driving the speed limit. What was the speed limit?
Not sure.
So you're saying you're driving the speed limit when you don't know what it is?
Objection, Your Honor, argumentative.
Can I hear from the counsel?
I'm just coming to a conclusion based on the evidence presented in the case.
Sustained. Continue.
So did hit Myrtle, and you did know about it, and then you purposely fled the
Objection,
scene.
Your Honor, argument to overrule.
And you purposely fled the scene, did not, and then you didn't aid Mrs. Wilson, correct?
Yes.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
The witness may step down. Defense, your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call Stan McKellis.
Witness may take the stand.
Since you were the only one at the scene when the incident occurred, describe what you watched for us.
So Myrtle and Wilson were having an argument, the night before they were arguing as well. And then Myrtle ran out into the street from Wilson's garage, was waving her arms in the middle of the road trying to get this car to stop. And then she got hit, and then the car sped off around the corner.
Did you watch the car try to swerve as another car was approaching? Like Nick had said?
From my position, I could not see the car really try to swerve at all.
But there was another car approaching. correct?
There was another car from the other way, yes.
And describe that visibility for us that night.
It was pretty poor, mainly just because of the darkness. The only lights were coming from the headlights and then Wilson's garage. I closed my shop down for the day, so I didn't have any light from my shop.
And that was what caused you to say you saw the green car instead of the yellow car, correct?
Correct.
Did you watch anything unusual happen before the incident?
Yeah, the night before, Wilson and Myrtle were having some sort of argument. Myrtle was, I'm assuming, having some sort of affair. She was locked up in Wilson's room, and then he was saying the day after tomorrow of the incident that they're gonna go down south and live. And then, like I said, the next day, that night, she was arguing with Tom, and then she ran out into the road and got hit by the car.
So you would agree that Myrtle was emotionally distraught
Very.
as she ran out?
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all.
Prosecution may now cross-examine the witness.
No questions, Your Honor.
The witness may be excused. Defense, your next witness.
Your Honor, the defense rests.
Both the prosecution and defense have rested their cases. The attorneys will now present their closing arguments. Please remember what the attorneys say is not evidence. However, do listen closely. What you hear is intended to aid you in understanding the case. Defense, you may begin.
What you all heard today was a case about our defendant, Daisy Buchanan. But a key thing that I want you guys to remember is that involuntary manslaughter is an act of negligence and recklessness or criminal activity. Let's look at the key facts. Is that the prosecution tried to paint a picture that Daisy was emotionally distraught. But the reality behind that is that Daisy likes to drive when she's feeling stressed, and that actually calms her down. She was in the right state of mind to drive that night. The other picture that they tried to paint is that she was speeding. In reality, there was no radar gun, and there was no detection of actually the true speed she was going. It's simply just someone guessing, and maybe having an idea, when a witness even didn't know the color of the car right away. Just remember that Myrtle running out onto the road and middle of darkness is reckless, is negligent for her own life. That was the problem in this case. Is that she calmed her nerves when she was driving on the Valley Vashes. Is that it was dark outside at night, and no one actually knows the true speed limit because there is no fact. We're just guessing here. So whatever the prosecution tries to paint in this picture today, the reality is that we are just guessing on the speed. And that my defendant likes to drive to calm herself down. Thank you.
a tragedy that could have been prevented with proper care by the defendant, Daisy Buchanan. As charged, Mrs. Buchanan acted with total negligence and carelessness, which resulted in the very unfortunate death of a fellow New Yorker. Firstly, Mrs. Buchanan was not in a stable mental state to drive. The altercation that occurred in the Plaza Hotel between Mr. Gatsby and Mr. Buchanan showered the defendant in distress and paranoia. And even if driving helps her calm down, it obviously contributed to the fact that she was speeding. And in response to this distress and paranoia, Mrs. Buchanan decided to drive on her own accord instead of having the much calmer Mr. Gatsby take the wheel. Secondly, likely as a result of the distress, Mrs. Buchanan drove at a reckless speed. According to the basic speed law, there's an expectation to drive at a speed reasonable for the current environment. In perfect conditions, it is expected that a car drives at 25 miles per hour, even in a city, and in more rural areas like the Valley of Ashes. And as Michael said, Mrs. Buchanan was driving at 30 to 40 miles per hour in darkness. And he can tell this based on the other cars that were driving on the road at the time. It's very easy to judge a car's basic speed based on the other cars that were driving. So, along with already exceeding the standard speed for perfect conditions, she should have been driving even slower due to the heavily decreased visibility by the darkness. And lastly, after striking Mrs. Wilson with her car, the defendant fled the scene, showing consciousness of guilt. Instead of stopping the car to assist the victim, the defendant left Mrs. Wilson in an attempt to save herself from punishment, disregarding a human life to the benefit of herself. So, with the overwhelming amount of incriminating evidence presented to you today, the state asks that you hold the defendant accountable for her actions with a guilty verdict. Thank you.
Members of the jury, you have heard all of the testimony concerning this case. It is now up to you to determine the facts. In today's case, a majority vote will determine the verdict. In case of a tie, the jury foreperson shall cast the deciding vote. The bailiff will now escort you to the deliberation room. While the jury is out, this court will be in recess. We will reconvene when a verdict